Hey, welcome back to the channel, guys, and if you guys are new here, my name is Taylor. If you guys aren't already subscribed, please consider subscribing to the channel as I do upload videos regularly. Also, if you guys are new here or you're returning, I have all my videos uploaded into playlists, so it's easier for you guys to find exactly what you're looking for, and I have them categorized by different topics. So if you guys just go on my main channel page, you should be able to find what you're looking for pretty easily on there. Now, today I want to talk to you guys about end times and kind of what to expect going forward, and also what to expect if you really want to live a life that's for Christ. Now, I do believe we're in the end times, and the Bible is very clear about what the end times are going to look like. Now, there's also a lot of false prophets out there claiming that we're headed for a time of revival and we're headed for a time of blessing, and God's going to pour out just one blessing after another on his people and the church. But is that biblical? So let's take a look at Matthew 24, verse 9. Now, Matthew 24 is a lot of end times prophecy stuff in that chapter, so go ahead and check that out. But verse 9 says, "Then they will deliver you up to tribulation and put you to death, and you will be hated by all nations for my name's sake." Now, God promises to spare us from his wrath during the tribulation, right? I'm a pre-tribber. If you guys aren't, that's okay. But I believe that God has promised that he is going to spare us from his wrath during the tribulation. Okay, but he does not promise that he's going to spare us from man's wrath. It clearly says that we're going to be imprisoned and we're going to be put up to death and we're going to be persecuted for proclaiming the name of Jesus. So this is what you can expect going forward. If you think we're in the end times, this is what it's going to look like. I also think this is a reason why many are going to fall away. I think when times get tough, we're going to really see who follows Christ or who just follows him for convenience sake and the blessings and all the good things that they think that come with being a Christian, right? Or if you follow a church where it's just all about health, wealth, and prosperity, right? And God pouring out his blessings on you. And a lot of people claim to be Christians and just aren't, sadly. So I think we're going to see a great falling away coming when persecution and all these things start to ramp up. And honestly, in America, we're pretty blessed here, right? But we're also pretty weak because this kind of stuff goes on in other parts of the world and we just haven't been as subject to it yet. But don't think that's not coming. Now, I say all this not to scare you guys, but because I love you and because I want to prepare you for what's coming going forward, right? I don't want to ever sit here on this channel and say, oh, the Lord's just going to protect you and bless you and everything's going to be great. And no, it's going to be hard, right? And yes, the Lord is going to take care of us during those times, but it is going to be difficult. Now, should this surprise you though, right? Let's take a look at Paul the Apostle. He's one of my Bible heroes. You know, the first thing God did to Paul when he was still named Saul was he blinded him, right? And then the first thing he said about Paul after that was, I will show him how much he must suffer for my name's sake. Okay, but what does that really mean? So Paul, in my opinion, was one of my Bible heroes that just went through absolutely great suffering. And it was after Jesus had died on the cross, and this was the start of the church. So as the church, this is what you can expect if you want to live for Christ. So let's take a look at Paul's life. And he sums it up pretty well in 2 Corinthians 11, verses 23 through 30, which says, "Are they servants of Christ? I am a better one. I am talking like a madman, with far greater labors, far more imprisonments, with countless beatings, and often near death. 5 times I received at the hands of the Jews 40 lashes less one. 3 times I was beaten with rods. Once I was stoned. 3 times I was shipwrecked. A night and a day I was adrift at sea, on frequent journeys, in danger from rivers, danger from robbers, danger from my own people, danger from Gentiles, danger in the city, danger in the wilderness, danger at sea, danger from false brothers, in toil and hardship, through many a sleepless night, in hunger and thirst, often without food, in cold and exposure. And apart from other things, there's this daily pressure on me of my anxiety for all the churches. Who is weak, and I am not weak? Who is made to fall, and am I not indignant? If I must boast, I will boast of the things that show my weakness." Now, all that and Paul was bitten by a snake in Acts 28, verse 3. Okay, so we're never promised an easy life. And this is what you can expect if you want to follow Christ. Okay, if you want to truly follow Christ, you are going to go through great trials and great tribulations, great sufferings. Because like I said before, he doesn't need me and you, right? He needs his son and his power living through you in order for you to be effective for him, right? We can't do anything in our own power. And sometimes God needs to take us through such intense trials and tribulations to humble us and to mold us and to strengthen us and to teach us to endure so that we can really be used. Okay, and Paul is one of my absolute heroes in the Bible. He was a man who was just unfaltering and uncompromising in his faith, right? He stood before Caesar. He stood before just many men and proclaimed the name of the Lord and never backed down. And he went through such suffering, and he counted it all as loss for the surpassing wealth of knowing Christ Jesus his Lord. Okay, and this is the attitude we need to have. Okay, we know that we're going to be suffering in this life. You're going to be suffering in this life even if you don't know Christ. Okay, but I'd much rather suffer with Jesus Christ on my side than without him. Okay, I'd much rather suffer knowing that one day I'm going to go to heaven and meet my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ than end up in hell for all eternity. Now, I'm not saying all this because I'm trying to scare you guys. In fact, I'm going to switch it around now. I'm going to bring you some hope. But I just want you to understand what the Christian life really looks like. Now, let's take a look back and see after Paul was bitten by that snake, what happened to him. So everyone's saying that he's going to die. And let's look at Acts 28, verse 6. They were waiting for him to swell up or suddenly fall down dead. But when they had waited a long time and saw no misfortune came to him, they changed their minds and said that he was a god. Now, obviously, Paul wasn't a god. Okay, but what happened here is it was a testimony to the men who saw this around him of the God that he did serve, right? I'm sure Paul, after that, preached to them and told them exactly why he didn't die to this snake bite, right? This is what you can expect in your life. You can expect to get beaten, bruised, bitten, right? Attacked by life, and you can expect for God to sustain you. You can expect for him to hold you up, right? You can expect for him to see you through these trials in his strength and his power, and you can expect him to heal your wounds. Okay, so let's also take a look at Romans 8, verses 35 and 37, because I want to leave you with this. Who shall separate us from the love of Christ? Shall tribulation or distress or persecution or famine or nakedness or danger or sword? As it is written, for your sake we are being killed all day long. We are regarded as sheep to be slaughtered. No, in all these things we are more than conquerors through him who loved us. Now, nothing can separate you from the love of God. Nothing can separate you from his power, right? His courage, his boldness, his strength, his healing hand upon your life. Nothing can separate you from that. Okay, not even the grave. Okay, through all these things, we're more than conquerors through him who lives inside of us. Okay, and this is where our hope comes in. That although we might be subject to times of great trial and torment and pain, Jesus Christ is going to see you through, right? Because he lives inside of me and he lives inside of you if you're a believer in Jesus Christ and you've given your life to him, right? He is going to get you through these times in your life that you thought were going to be unbearable. Because guess what? On your own, they are unbearable. Okay, and you can't face them. You can't overcome them. But through God, all things are possible. Okay, and this is his promise to you, that his love will never forsake you. It'll never leave you, right? He'll never forget about you. He's never just going to leave you on your own and say, good luck, right? He will be with you every step of the way. No matter if we get thrown in jail for our faith, no matter if we get beaten, right? If we get killed, no matter what, he's going to see us through in all of these things. Okay, but this is what you can expect being a Christian. And this is what you can expect heading into the end times. It's not going to be blessings and health and wealth and prosperity, right? We might come under some serious warfare, right? We might come under some serious trials. You might get thrown in jail. You might get beaten. So do you want to live for Christ? I do, right? And I'm saying that to you, and it's easy to say it, but it's another thing to do it, right? It's another thing to live it. And oftentimes I find myself being a coward, right? And cowering behind my own fears and insecurities. But even in those times, God is just molding me, right? He's molding me and he's strengthening me and he's equipping me so that I don't make those same mistakes and those same failures, and I'm a little more bold next time, or that I have a little more strength next time, right? So if you want to live for Christ, expect it to be difficult, but expect him to mold you, right? Expect him to grow you, expect him to strengthen you and give you what you need in those times of trial. Okay, so again, I love you guys. Pour yourself into his word, right? In these last days, I think we're in the last days. Pour yourself into his word. Pour yourself into prayer, right? All these things are going to equip you so that when these trials do come, you can stand firm instead of falter. Because the easy thing for everybody to do is going to be to walk away, right? And say, no, I don't know Jesus, right? I don't follow Jesus. Like, I don't like Jesus. I don't like Christians. Yeah, those Christians are judgmental, right? Self-righteous Christians, man. I'm not one of them. Right? Are you going to stand strong in these last days? God bless you. And we'll see you guys next time.